Good morning, Princeton UMC family. My name is Taylor Necochea, and I am your associate pastor here at Princeton United Methodist Church in the multi-state system. I get to work with our children here at PUMC and our adult formation ministries and our online campus, and it is an absolute joy to be doing this video with you this morning. So many exciting things are happening this week in the life of our church. This past week, you might know that Pastor Jenny was out on vacation, and so Pastor Jay preached on Luke 12 and reminded us about looking for God in our own path, not the ways of the world. And also this week, our children's ministry had our last Summer Fantastic Sunday, which was led by our very own Steve Wong. We had an amazing summer full of Bible stories and Legos and art and treats and science projects. And so thank you, all of you, to my children's ministry leaders for living into one of Princeton UMC's core values, which is contagious joy. Speaking of our core values, I want to take some time this morning with you in this happenings video to pray and to meditate and to think about our church's vision statement, which is as follows. PUMC practices joy, celebration, abundance, forgiveness, freedom, Sabbath, justice, and shalom, becoming a Jubilee community. We seek to empower people to embrace the fullness of life, death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, finding liberation from loneliness, busyness, not enoughness, shame, and trauma. We engage community partners and invite our neighbors to join in our efforts to create a more liberated and free greater Princeton community by working to eradicate racial, economic, and social injustice for people of all ages. We are committed to creating and maintaining a physical, spiritual, and online space that is gracious, restorative, and healing. So my question for you this morning is, how do you see our church living into this vision? Not that we are perfect or even close to having it all figured out, but how do you see yourself, your church, your community, your area of ministry, bravely stepping into this vision? We talk a lot as United Methodists about being an outward-facing church. And what we mean by this is that our goal is not to keep our ministry in the walls of Princeton UMC or Kingston UMC or any of our UMC churches, but we exist as a local and global church to be facing towards our communities, our efforts, our prayers, our resources, all of these things God has blessed us with, we get to use to pour out back into the world. Of course, this doesn't mean that we don't focus inwardly or on ourselves as a community church, but it is our hope as Methodists to always remember that why we do what we do, which is to make disciples of Christ and for the transformation of the world. So that's why I love this vision statement, this collection of phrases that we are working towards together. We commit to a gracious, healing, and restorative space so that we can engage in our community, empowering and liberating one another from busyness, loneliness, and the other burdens the world has to offer us. One of the ways that we as a church this week are stepping into this vision is by investing into the students in our communities. CCK is partnering with Compassion Camp Kids to encourage you to bring school supplies, including backpacks, pens, and pencils, in the next 2 weeks to be gifted to middle schoolers and high schoolers, all these students who need them through CCK. So you can bring these supplies. There should be a list found in your happenings email. We are especially asking for new backpacks. You can bring them into the Sanford Davis room or to the office in the next 2 weeks by August 28th. If you're not able to make it in person, no worries, you are still able to help. You can feel free to mail a package to the church addressed to myself with the school supplies in it. Friends, thank you for engaging in community partners and inviting one another to join in our efforts to create a more liberated and free greater Princeton community by working to eradicate racial, economic, and social injustice for all ages. Thank you for stepping into this church-wide vision together. And so this morning, I will leave you with one of my most beloved prayers by Saint Teresa of Avila. Hear these words. Lord, grant that I may always allow myself to be guided by you, always follow your plans, and perfectly accomplish your holy will. Grant that in all things, great and small, today and all the days of my life, I may do whatever you require of me. Help me respond to the slightest prompting of your grace, so that I may be trustworthy. I may be your trustworthy instrument for your honor. May your will be done in time and in eternity by me, in me, and through me. Amen. Thanks be to God. Have a great week, Princeton.